Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. In this video, I want to share something with you that I've learned. I'm not going to give the video a title. I don't feel right doing that. That doesn't feel honest. It doesn't feel authentic. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to share how I'm feeling, what I've learned, and I want to inspire you. And I don't want to inspire you as well. I don't want to force you with anything. I want to share something that I've learned, and I want to try and see if I can make sense of it. It's very beautiful. It's very nice. And if I give it a word, it will ruin it. It will take all the context out of it, and then you'll give it a meaning, you'll give it a word, and then we'll both get confused. We'll both try and explain it, and it will get lost in translation, and it will get misinterpreted, or it will get reinterpreted. So for many years growing up as a man, I had lots of different voices. I had these voices that used to come up in my head, and I couldn't stop these voices. I couldn't separate these voices from attacking me and bullying me. Some of these voices were good. Some of them were trying to inspire me. But a lot of these voices felt dark. These voices made me feel so ashamed. I couldn't speak to people because I didn't want these voices to get out and to be expressed and to be heard, because I felt like I'd be judged, criticised, unloved, abandoned and hated. So these voices came from a feeling that I wasn't good enough. Came from a feeling that I didn't deserve to be loved. I was so embarrassed for feeling that I didn't deserve to be loved, and I was so angry to even have a voice that could even tell me something. How could I even comprehend something that was so awful, so tragic and so terrifying, to not be loved, or to not even be good enough to feel loved, or to not even be good enough to even be able to talk about love. Now, some of the other voices, or there was a feeling beneath the voices that were saying to me, you are good enough, you can do it. But there was a part of me that felt afraid to do it. I felt if I did it, I would be attacked. I would possibly face death. That's how afraid I was. And this would make me angry, and it would send me into depression. My depression, it wasn't a depression in the sense of feeling sorry for myself, because I went beyond feeling sorry for myself. It was a numbness, it was a quietness, it was a darkness. And I was in my flat and I couldn't come out. And even if I went out my flat, the depression continued. So everywhere I walked, the depression followed me, because the depression was in me. But it also felt like I wasn't part of this depression. I felt like I was torn into it. I felt like I was taken into the ninth circle of hell, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't see any light. I was desperate to find light. So I remember thinking to myself, if I could get myself a girlfriend, it would take this pain away. So I went on this journey. I started to learn about how to speak to women, and I met many good men, many great men that inspired me. But during the course of learning how to meet women, I realised that the very thing I was going for, I was terrified and I was afraid of. I was afraid of finding a woman that would love me, because that would expose all of these dark voices, dark feelings that were in me, and I was afraid that she would see somewhere down the line that I don't feel worthy of her love. And I was afraid that I wouldn't have the ability to love her, because I was full of hate, jealousy and anger, and these were some of these other voices, and I was confused and I was trapped in this body. I was trapped. And even when there were slight moments of authenticity, these voices would rush up and they would pull me back into this dark place. This place came from fear. I was taught to be afraid growing up. But who taught me this? I thought it was the council estate. I said the council estate taught me to be afraid. Then I said, my family have taught me to be afraid. Then I said, the bullies at school taught me to be afraid. Then I said, maybe I taught myself to be afraid, or my friend taught me to be afraid, or the girl taught me to be afraid. Then I started to get these visions and these symbols. I was afraid of businessmen in suits. I thought the businessmen are making me afraid. They're making me feel insecure. They're threatening my self-worth. They're making me feel inadequate. Then I got angry for feeling inadequate, and I felt rage. And then I thought, everything's making me afraid. The television made me afraid. I'd watch the television, it made me feel uncomfortable. I had to switch it off. I was afraid of confident people. I was afraid of violent people. I was afraid of nice people. I was afraid of in-between people. So everywhere afraid. No place of rest. So I'd get to a place of silence like this, and I would ask God, I'd say, please God, stop this from happening. Stop these voices, stop this pain. And then another voice would come up and it would say, but you don't believe in God. And if there was a God, he wouldn't love you. And I'd say, oh my God, there's nowhere to turn. And then it would say, if you tell anyone, you're a coward, you're a mummy's boy. Then I'd say, I can't speak. So I was trapped. So I found a level of balance. We can call this a people pleaser if you like, to sum it up. And I pretended I was shy. I pretended I was poor. I pretended I was unintelligent. I wanted to fit in, but I was terrified of fitting in. So I developed an archetype. A man who hated himself. A man who didn't trust anyone. A man who didn't trust himself. A man who didn't trust anything. And it's just dawned upon me right now in this present moment. I was held prisoner to my addictions. So what were my addictions? My addictions were chocolate bars from the 24-hour shop, Snickers, Mars bars, Cadbury's Cream Egg, Twix. These were some of the addictions. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I love Rocky, I love Sylvester Stallone. It's not his fault, it's my fault. But I was addicted to watching the film to stop my pain, to stop the voices, to numb the voices, to go away from them. I was addicted to violence. I hated bullies, but I was a bully. I hated people pleasers, but I was a people pleaser. I hated everyone. I didn't want to hate everyone, because I didn't want to hate myself, but I did. I was addicted to masturbation. I didn't need pornography, but sometimes I needed it. It made me feel sleazy, made me feel disgusting, made me feel unloved, made me feel dirty, made me feel ashamed. When I'd go into the shop to buy food for my mum or for myself, I couldn't look the shopkeeper in the eye because I was ashamed. I was afraid if you looked me in the eye, we would know what I've done. How dreadful am I? I was addicted to negative conversations. But I loved it, I couldn't help it. It was feeding me. It was giving me a sense of satisfaction. I was addicted to talking bad about people and slagging them off, but I hated it, I didn't like it. I didn't like it people did it about me, but I did it. I was addicted to it. I was addicted to alcohol. I tried to deny it. I tried to say just a couple on the weekend. I was drinking loads. I was addicted to being in the wrong social circles, but I couldn't get out. I was afraid to make new friends. I didn't want people to think, he's moved on, he thinks he's better than us. Because I don't think I'm better than you, I'm the same. I am you. I am the businessman. I am the man on the council estate. I am the man full of love. I am the man full of insecurity. I'm the man full of talent. I'm the man full of doubt. I'm the man full of silence. I'm the man full of shout. I'm connected to all of it. But when I'm in my addictions, my connection's gone. It vanishes. I was addicted to prostitutes. I've never told you that. I didn't want my family to know. It's out, the truth is out. No one can judge me, no one can blackmail me. Judge me if you want. I was a postman at the time. I didn't want anyone to know this. I want to share it with the whole world, I want to share it with you. It might inspire you, it might touch something in your heart. I used to go to the 24-hour machine, 1 o'clock in the morning in Bayswater, near my area, withdraw money, and I didn't want to do it. And these voices would get inside me, and they would plague me, they would possess me, and they would physically take over my body, and they would lead me there, and I would be shaken with terror. I was afraid, I was a kid, I was afraid. I would knock on the door. I should say, what do you want? I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak, my social anxiety came upon me. Then I would just about have sex with her, I would come out, I would feel used, I would feel horrible, I would feel raped of all my talents. I would feel raped of all my innocence. I would feel raped of all my wonder. It'll be the next day again, the cycle starts again. Back to Rocky 1, 2, 3 and 4, chocolates at the 24-hour shop. Please help me, God, get me out of this mess. How could you abandon me? How could you do this to me? How could everyone abandon me? How could my family do this to me? But it's not my family, it's me, it can't be me. Who am I? There's loads of me. But one day, I was 25 years of age. A moment of inspiration. This was a recurring vision, a recurring feeling. I got this feeling from good people. I got this feeling from vivid dreams and a touch of authenticity. I knew I could stop this. I was excited by this, but I was afraid by it, because if I was to stop this, then who would I be? I wouldn't be the socially anxious man on the council estate. I wouldn't be the kid that was afraid of businessmen. I wouldn't be the kid that was afraid of money because he thought money was dirty. I wouldn't be the man that was afraid to fall in love with a beautiful woman. I would no longer be the man that would go to the cash machine, take his hard-earned money that he made as a postman to sleep with prostitutes. I would cut my ties. I wouldn't drink alcohol no more. I would watch Rocky 1, 2, 3 and 4, but I'd be in a good place. I would access the kingdom within. I would get my self-respect back. I would get all the hate out of me. I would get all the paranoia. I would trust myself. I would trust everyone. I would love the businessman. I would love the man on the council estate. I'd be able to look at the shopkeeper dead in his eye without no shame, fear or distrust. Pure love or appreciation. I'd finally find out who I am by reframing from my addictions. I was love. I had it. I was talented. I was intellectual. Still vulnerable, still afraid, but mostly confident. I could pass my message on to others on the council estate. I could talk to the kids in the council estate. I could say, look at me. I'm the same as you. I'm exactly the same as you. But I'm in the kingdom. I want to take you with me. Come with me. But I can't force you. It's your choice. Whenever you want to go, just give me a shout. I'll let you know. I could bring my family to this kingdom. I could bring my friends. Even my enemies who criticised me and bullied me in school, I would forgive them and take them to the kingdom because they've helped me. I would do my best to stop judging everyone and judging myself. As I do this video now, I can feel these voices diminishing back into the abyss of darkness. I can feel this light coming up in me as I'm talking to the camera. I can feel these, I can feel the presence of God. I made it, I'm here, it stopped. All these demonic, horrible voices, all this paranoia, all this anxiety, stillness. I'm back to being a kid again. My innocence has returned. My vulnerability is back. My shyness is here. Self-acceptance. I don't need money. I don't need prostitutes. I don't need negative conversations. I don't need anyone. I've accessed my own love, my own honesty. This is the place, I found it. It's in quietness, stillness. Remember this. This is the good feeling. Can you feel it with me? The voices are back. They're coming up. Let's go for a drink. Let's do the day game. Let's get some women. Let's quieten the voices down. Ignore the voices. I hope you guys felt that message. Enjoy the process.